Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi shir.
Shalom Brachos, and welcome back to today's Daf Yomi, Brachos Daf Nun Hey. We're on Nun Daled Amud Beis, 3 lines from the bottom. Says the Gemara, V'Amar Rav Yehuda, Shloisha Dvarim, there are 3 things, Hamarich Bo'en, one who prolongs in them, Ma'arichin Yamav Ushnoisav Shel Adam, one merits to have long years as a result of being marich, prolonging in these activities. What are they? Number 1, hamarich b'tfilasai, one who prolongs in his tefillah. V'hamarich al shulchanai, if one draws out his meal. And number 3, v'hamarich b'beis hakisei, one who prolongs in the bathroom. And that is beneficial to one's health. Explains the Gemara, v'hamarich b'tfilasai ma'al yusahi, do you propose that davening a long prayer is actually a positive thing, it's beneficial? Didn't he teach us that kol hamarich b'tfilasai uma'ayin ba, one who prolongs his tefillah and contemplates in it? Rashi explains that he's omer b'liba, he thinks in his heart that his requests will be fulfilled, his tefillah will be accepted as a result of his long tefillah and his investment, his intensity in his tefillah. So one who conducts himself in this manner, says the Gemara, soif ba'alit gedei kedei leiv, he will come toward heartache because his request will not be fulfilled. Shenemar, as it says, teichelas v'mushacha, one who has a prolonged tefillah, machla leiv, it brings the sickness of the heart. So we see here that prolonging in tefillah is not something positive. We also see it from Rabbi Yitzchak. Rabbi Yitzchak, shloisha dvarim, there are 3 things, 3 behaviors that bring about that maskirim avoyneiser shel adam, that cause that in Shamayim, in heaven, in Bezin Shamala, they remind themselves about his averis. Because in these 3 instances, the person is showing confidence in his sitkus, in his righteousness, in his being faultless. So in heaven, they go ahead and they investigate, and they scrutinize indeed whether he has committed any misdeeds or sins. So these 3 behaviors bring about that maskirin avoyneiser shel adam. What are they? Ve'eluhen kir natoi, a leaning wall. This is a makam sakana, place of danger. A person who places himself in this makam sakana, he is exhibiting overconfidence in his righteousness that he won't be harmed. The second thing is ve'iyun tefillah, one who contemplates in his tefillah and places merit on his tefillah, expects it to be accepted and fulfilled. And the third thing is moiser din al chaver l'shamayim, one who submits judgment on his friend who has wronged him. He submits it to heaven and expects that in Shamayim they will give him a punishment as a result. So these 3 behaviors exhibit an overconfidence in one's righteousness, in one's high level of tzidkus, and therefore this causes that in Shamayim they indeed look into his deeds and they discover misdeeds and deficiencies. So you see once again that iyun tefillah is not something beneficial. Halei kashi, says the Gemara, it's not difficult. It depends. Hada ma'ayin ba, hada la ma'ayin ba. Hada ma'ayin ba, when he is ma'ayin, meaning he expects, he has expectations of his tefillah, surely it will be accepted, it will go straight up to Shamayim, and my requests will be fulfilled. That is no good. That displays an overconfidence in one's ability to produce through his prayer, and that is not something beneficial. That actually brings about the opposite results, that his tefillah is not accepted, and that actually brings about that they are maskir as avonos. However, this that Rav Yehuda explained to us, that marich tefillah brings about arichas yamim, he merits long days, is hadaloi ma'ayin ba. He's not being ma'ayin, he doesn't have any expectations. He invests effort in his tefillah, he prolongs his tefillah experience, he has lots of kavanah, but he doesn't have any expectations for the acceptance of his tefillah and fulfillment of his requests. Vehechi avid, says the Gemara, if so, what is a person supposed to do to receive results, to see a good outcome of his tefillah, that it should be accepted? Says the Gemara, the mafish berachmi, he increases in his request for rachmanas, rather than placing merit on his tefillah and expecting that his his efforts will bear fruit, that he has the ability to bring about results. Quite the contrary. The point of tefillah is meant for the person living in this world where we feel that we're in charge, we're running the show, we're in the driver's seat. Tefillah is meant to change that perspective and make us aware of Hashem, who is the one and only provider, to clarify for us that everything depends on Hashem. We submit ourselves to Hashem's control. We express our dependence, fully dependence on Hashem's provision to us. Therefore, when a person davens long and he is mapish barachmi, expresses requests for achmanas, he is exhibiting his full dependence and connection to Hashem and Hashem's power and Hashem's ability to provide. And by doing so, he fulfills the objective of tefillah. The point of tefillah is to bring a person to this realization, this clarity. Therefore, when a person conducts himself in that manner, he has fulfilled the purpose of tefillah indeed, and therefore his tefillah at that point will be accepted, and he will be zeicha, we merit to receive the bracha, the blessings of Hashem. Continues the Gemara. V'amarach al shulchanai, a person draws out his meal. What is the benefit of doing so? Dilma asa anya v'yavle. Perhaps a ani will come, since he draws out the meal experience, that will provide opportunity for the poor man to show up and to be provided for. The chsiv, as it says, HaMizbeach eitz sholish ames gavoya. The Mizbeach was of wood, 3 ames high. Uksiva davar elai ze hashulchan asher fnei Hashem. Says the Gemara, first we begin describing the Mizbeach, Pasach b'Mizbeach, and he concludes by saying the Shulchan. V'siyim b'Shulchan, is it the Mizbeach, is it the Shulchan? Explains the Gemara of Yoichan of Lezer Damar Tavayu. The Pasach is teaching us the following lesson. Kol zman shebeis hamikdash kayam, as long as the Beis Hamikdash was around, Mizbeach machapa Shulchan al Yisrael. The Mizbeach served as an atonement for Klal Yisrael. V'achshav, but now that we don't have the Mizbeach, what will atone for us? Shulchanai shel adam mechaper olav. The table of a man is mechaper on him, because the ani that arrives to one's table during the meal is provided for, and that provides a kapara, an atonement for Yisrael. That is the pshat in the pasuk that begins describing the Mizbeach during when the Beis Hamikdash was built. Concludes with the Shulchan, which pertains to today, to nowadays, where the Shulchan performs the same activity as the Mizbeach in a way of atonement for the person. Finally, what was the third item? V'amarach v'esakisei, one who prolongs in the bathroom, says the Gemara, Mal Yusehi. Is this beneficial? V'atani, haven't we learned? Asorat dvar, 10 things. Mevin as adam with their tachtonis, bring about hemorrhoids. Ha'ichal anikanim, person eats leaves of reeds, v'ali gefanim, leaves of vines, v'lulabi gefanim, shoots of vines, umarige behema, those ridged portions of the behemoth's meat, for instance, the tongue, which has ridges, v'shidr shel dog, the backbone of a fish, v'dag maliach, a salted fish, she'enoi, mavushal kol sarka, it wasn't completely cooked, v'ashayse shimmer yain, one that drinks the remnants, the lees of the wine, the remnants found in the bottom of the barrel of the wine, those powdery substance. V'amakaneach, one who wipes himself in the bathroom, besid, using lime, or Brachos, using a piece of pottery, or v'amakaneach b'tzror, he uses a pebble, shekinech b'chaveroi, that was used by somebody else. V'yish oimim, some say af, one who squats in the bathroom too much. So we see that prolonging in the bathroom is not beneficial. It's not difficult. If he prolongs without squatting, that's beneficial. But when he's marach and he is totally in a squatting position, that is harmful. Says the Gemara, we see that prolonging in the bathroom is actually beneficial to one's health. Like the following story, the Amrle Ahimash Renusa, this noble woman approached Rabbi Yehuda Bar Elai, and she told him, your face is radiating, is shining. Your face appears like those who raise swine, those who lend money for interest. So the people that are involved in these professions, these occupations generally require very little effort, and the people involved in them are very satisfied with their lot, and their faces are radiating. So she told him, your face looks like one of those guys. Amar Allah, so he told her, Hey Mnusa, faith, this is the Lashon of Shvuah. I swear, Lididi, Tarvayu Asiran, both occupations are prohibited. I may not engage in any of these. So why do I have such a radiating countenance? Ella, it's because of a different reason. There are 24 Beis Hakisa between Meyush Bezoy from my home, the Beis Midrash until the Beis Medrash. The Chayal Zilna, when I walk, but Dikno Nafshoy Bekulu, I check myself in all those locations. So we see here that it is beneficial to one's health. There are three things, three exhibitions of behavior which bring about shortening of one's life. One who is offered the Sefer Torah to read, and he refuses on account of his arrogance and of his relating to it with lack of chashivas, lack of significance. We're not speaking about one who's not prepared to read in the Torah. They used to read, everybody used to read their own aliyah in the olden days. So he's given us Sefer Torah to read, and he refuses. He doesn't give it significance. Or one who was offered a kaishal bracha to make the bracha brachas hamazon levarach ve'einu mevarach, and he refused to make the bracha. Or v'hamanik asmei v'rabbanos, a leader who displays an air of authority unnecessarily. In that case, the result is that they are makatzer yama b'shnoisav. Explains the Gemara. Sefer Torah likros ve'nikroy, he's offered Sefer Torah and he doesn't read it. Why is the result? The Kitzur Yamim, Tichsiv, as it says, Ki hu chayecha, v'erich yamecha. Torah is your life, it is your longevity. Therefore, if one does away with it, he does not merit Arichas Yamim. Kaishal bracha levarach and mevarach. One is offered the Kaishal bracha and he refuses. What's wrong with that? Tichsiv avarach v'arachecha. Hashem says to Avram, I will give a bracha to those who bless you, and the one who makes the brachas hamazon is the one that will make a bracha for the host. As we learned earlier in the Masechta, he makes a special bracha directed at the balabayis. So one who refuses to be mevarech a yid, he too will not merit receiving Hashem's bracha. And finally, v'hamanig atzmei b'rabbanos, one who conducts himself unnecessarily with this aura of authority. To Amar B'Chamar B'Chanina, b'nei ma meis Yosef, kodim le'echav. Why did Yosef HaTzadik die earlier than his brothers, 10 years earlier? Because he conducted himself with Rabbanos unnecessarily. The Mepharshim say that the brothers refer to Yaakov Avinu as Avdecha Avinu, your servant. And Yosef HaTzadik didn't protest when he heard that. And he heard that 10 times. Therefore, he suffered as a consequence. He lost 10 years of his life. There are 3 things that require special rachmanis, because these things are directly under Hashem's authority, directly dictated by Hashem. So a person needs to ask special rachmanis from Hashem that these things should be successful. What are they? Melech Toiv, a good king, Shana Toiva, that the year should have good weather which is beneficial to the crops. V'chaloim Toiv, a positive dream. Explains the Gemara, Melech Toiv Dechsiv Pal Gemayim Leiv Melech B'yad Hashem. The heart of a king is in the hand of Hashem. Shana Toiv Dechsiv Tomed Einei Hashem Elokecha Ba. May Reishis Hashem Avdach Shana. Hashem looks out constantly throughout the whole year to arrange the seasons of the year. Chaloim Toiv, a good beneficial dream, a positive experience. You've given me a dream and you've kept me alive, you've given me life. So you see, these 3 items are directly dictated by Hashem. Hashem appoints the king. Hashem looks out for the rains throughout the year, and Hashem provides the positive dream. Hashem declares himself. Hashem directly declares regarding these 3 things. Ra'av, a famine, v'soiva, an abundance, plenty, uparnas toiv, a good leader. So these 3 things correspond to the concept we mentioned earlier. The melech toiv and the Shana Tova. So these three things parallel those items mentioned earlier, that these things are directed and are dictated directly by Hashem. Says, well, how do we know this? Rav d'chsiv ki kor Hashem l'rav. Hashem called out for the famine. Soiva d'chsiv karasi l'dagon. V'erbeisi oisa, I called out to the grain and I multiplied it. Parnas toiv, a good leader. D'chsiv, as it says in the pasuk, Vayidaber Hashem al Moshe leimar, Re'ei, karasi b'shem Betzalel, I have called out in the name of Betzalel to lead the construction of the Mishkan. We're not meant to appoint a leader on the tzibur, on the community, even if he's very qualified. We don't do it until we first receive the consent of the community. A leader is meant to provide for the community. He's meant to relate to them, and they're meant to relate to him. They're meant to accept his authority upon themselves. So that is a crucial element. Shanamar, as it says, Hashem tells Moshe in turn goes and tells Klal Yisrael, Ru'u, take a look, Kara Hashem b'shem Betzalel. Moshe tells Klal Yisrael, look, Hashem called out in the name of Betzalel. Explains the Gemara. Moshe, Hagun Olecha Betzalel. Is Betzalel suitable? Do you agree, do you consent to him leading the construction of the Mishkan? Amalai. So Moshe turns to Hashem and says, Rebbeinu Shalom, Im lafanecha Hagun, if he's suitable for you, if he's okay for you, lafanei lakol shkein, certainly for me. Why do you even ask for my consent? Amalai, Hashem says, Aval b'kein, even so. Leich emar lahem, go receive the okay, the approval of Klal Yisrael. Halach v'amar lahem liYisrael. So Moshe approached Klal Yisrael and he said, Hagun aleichem Betzalel. Is Betzalel accepted upon you? Is he suitable for the job? Amrullah, so they responded in kind. If he's suitable to Hashem and for you, certainly for us, why do you even ask? So we see here, nevertheless, Hashem insisted on receiving the approval and the consent of Klal Yisrael before appointing Betzalel as the leader of the construction of the Mishkan. So, in summary, we have several items dealing with Shloisha, with three. We had yesterday 3 things that need shimur, need to be watched. Today we moved on to 3 things that are marich yomav shel adam, which is marich betfilasai, marich al shulchanai, and marich beis hakisei. The Gemara continued and said there are 3 things that are maskir avaneser shel adam, kir natoi, a leaning wall, a danger, v'yun tefillah, one who expects results from his tefillah, u'moiser din al chaver l'shamayim, one who submits judgment on his friend to heaven. The Gemara continued and said that 3 things bring about shortening of one's life. One who is given a Sefer Torah and he refuses to read, one who is offered a Kosher Bracha and refuses, and one who conducts himself unnecessarily with an air of authority, of gaiva, of rabbanos. The Gemara continued and said there are 3 things that require rachmim and melech toiv, ishana toiv, and chalaim toiv. And the Gemara says 3 things that Hashem is machros aleim himself, directly calls us out, which are the rav, famine, v'soiva, and a parnas toiv, a good leader. Continues the Gemara. Amar Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani, Amar Rav Yonasan. Betzalel al shem chachmasai nikra. Betzalel, the name Betzalel, was related to the wisdom that he had. As the Gemara will explain. When Hashem told Moshe, Leich emar le Betzalel, go tell Betzalel, instruct him, Aseli Mishkan Oren v'Kelim, go build the Mishkan, the Oren, and the Kelim, the utensils. Halach Moshe, v'hafach, Moshe reversed the order. V'amar le, and he told Betzalel, Asei Oren, v'Kelim Mishkan, make the Oren, Kelim, and then the Mishkan. Amar lo, so Betzalel was puzzled, and he said, Moshe Rabbeinu, minhaga shel olam, the common practice is that Adam boine bayis, first one builds a home, So that he has a place to put the kelim inside. And afterwards he acquires the utensils and places it in the built home. But however, you tell me, Aseli, or in the kelim mishkan, first make the utensils and then the mishkan. Kelim shani oise, the kelim that I will craft, where will I put them into? Shema koch HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Perhaps this is the sequence, this is the manner which HaKadosh Baruch Hu instructed you. I say Mishkan, Aron Kelim. First the Mishkan, then the Aron Kelim. Could that be? Amar Loisa, Moshe responded, Shema B'Tzel Kel HaYisav Yodata. Indeed. Were you there when Hashem instructed me to make the Mishkan? And indeed, that was the proper order. First the Mishkan and then the Kelim. So that's the significance. That is the meaning of the name of B'Tzalel. B'Tzalel is a Rashi Tevis, an acronym, a combination of B'Tzel Kel HaYisa. You were there in the shadow of Hashem, and you've acquired the proper instructions in how to make the Mishkan in the proper order. So B'Tzalel denotes the wisdom of this individual. B'Tzalel had the knowledge to combine the letters, the alphabet, shenivru ben shamayim v'aretz. And within those letters, through those letters, Hashem created heaven and earth. Rashi says that in Sefer Yetzirah, it elaborates on this topic that Hashem created the world through b'mitzarav, joined together these letters of the alphabets. We know that Aleph and Beis and Gimel Daled are not just expressions which are joined into words to describe things, but they contain the chiyus of the world. They are expressions of life, emanations of life, various types of hashpois of Hashem that is included, that is contained in these letters. Hashem created the world with these various letters, various forms of expressions of life, which are joined together in different variations to create different elements in this world. So Yedeya had this knowledge. He knew how to join together these letters. As the Mepharshim explain, we know that the heavens, the Shamayim Hashem, is the heavenly abode. It's the domain of God. The Aretz, the earth, was Nasan Leil. Hashem gave it to man. It's the domain of the human. It is the living quarters of the human beings. It is our domain. Now, the Mishkan was actually a dwelling place of Hashem down here in this physical world. So B'Tzalel need to have an inside view. He need to know how to combine both spheres, the realm of heaven with the realm of earth, to synthesize between both of these realms. He need to create like a new world, like a new entity by constructing the Mishkan. It was heaven down here on earth. Therefore he needed to have the knowledge of how to join together these letters that were used to create heaven and earth, to create this Mishkan, which is actually a synthesis, a combined heaven and earth. It says, well, what do we see that B'Tzalel had this knowledge? Sivhacha, regarding the Mishkan, it says, Hashem filled him with a spirit, with a godly spirit of chachma, wisdom, tfuna, understanding, vidas, and knowledge. So he had all these elements. Uksiv Hasam, regarding Hashem's creation of the world, we find a reference to these three concepts as well, Chachma and Tfuna and Das. The Pasuk says, Hashem b'chachma yasad aretz, koinen shamayim b'tfuna Hashem. Hashem founded the earth with Chachma, with wisdom, and established the heaven with Tfuna. So you see Chachma and Tfuna. Uksiv b'datoi, with Das, Toim is Nifku, the depths were split. So we see the concept of Chachma, Bina, and Das, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, in reference to the creation of the world. So B'Tzalel, who had knowledge of this, he was filled with Chachma and Tfuna and Das. He was able to relate to the concept of the creation of the world. Amar B'Yochanan, in HaKadosh Baruch Hu noisin Chachma. Hashem only provides Chachma, wisdom, Ela l'mishi yesh bo Chachma, one who already contains Chachma. Shenemar, Yav Chachma salach hakimin. Hashem granted wisdom to wise people. Umandel yadabina. Hashem provided understanding to those who know understanding. Shama Rav Tachlifa b'Amar Arava. He heard this statement of Yochanan. V'amar kamed Ravo, and he related to Ravo. Amar leis Ravo responded, Atun mehasa masnisla. You derive this concept from there. Anon, we have, however, have a different source for the same concept. Mehacha masninala. It says in the Torah, Ubelev kol chacham lev v'nasati chachma. So instead of a pasuk and Daniel, we have a source from the Torah, from Chumash Shemais, a pasuk in Shemais. Ubelev kol chacham lev v'nasati chachma. Hashem says, I've inserted wisdom in the heart of the wise-hearted people. So we see that chachma is a prerequisite for being zeicha, for acquiring more chachma. Now, the obvious question here is, if a person needs chachma in order to acquire chachma, how does he ever receive the first dose of chachma? So the Farshim explained that when the Gemara says that a person needs to already have chachma, it's referring to the chachma of Yerushalayim. As Chazal parallel Yerushalayim with chachma, Yerushalayim is considered to be chachma. The understanding of Hashem, the fear of Hashem. When a person contains fear of heaven, he is a Yirei Shamayim. He's a Chacham in that regard. That opens him up, avails him, makes him a receptacle, a kli, available, suitable, fit to acquire in himself, to absorb the Chacham of Hashem, the Torah of Hashem, to connect to Hashem, because he's Yirei Shamayim. He's on a higher spiritual sphere. He is sensitive to Chachmas Hashem. He can appreciate it. He can properly absorb it, and Hashem grants it to him. Omar Rav Chizda, we are now opening up a discussion regarding dreams, chaloimos. Now, just a short introduction. We'll have many different variables. The Gemara will elaborate on the concept of chaloimos, of dreams. From the words of the Maharsha, who tries to give an overview and explanation of this concept, of this whole sugya of dreams, we see an interesting point. Maharsha points out that there are generally three different types, categories of dreams, three levels in dreams. One is a simple dream where a person merely sees a vision which is a product of his daytime thoughts and experiences. So those visions are just they're his own experiences, which are conjured into visions, into fantasies, and they're meaningless. We have, on the other hand, a dream which has a vision which is shown to him, which has a meaning to it, has a deeper meaning to it. Is indicative of something, an omen of a future tiding, perhaps. The Gemara on that says that such a dream requires proper interpretation. That dream, the meaning of that vision, is determined by interpretation of the dream. The interpretation empowers, activates that symbolic vision that he saw in his dream. Then the higher level is a dream which comes from a malach. It's a spiritual message conveyed from above. It is sort of a prophecy, and that is the higher level of dreams. So that's introduction to the concept, to the sugya of dreams. Says the Gemara, Amar Chizda, Kol Chalam V'lei Tavas. A person should dream any type of dream except for one during a fast. V'lei Tavas. Tavas means fasting, because when a person is in anguish, that can cause him to see troubling visions during his dream. V'amar Rav Chizda, Chelma delei mifshar, a dream which wasn't interpreted, is ka'agrasa delei mikrai, like a letter that wasn't read. A dream needs to be interpreted in order to be activated. As the Gemara later will say, Kol hachaloimis holchen achar apeh, they follow the words. Dreams are not determined, are not activated until they are interpreted and expressed via the mouth, via words. A good dream, a positive dream, is not fully realized. And no negative dream as well is fully realized. There's always something in there that's just meaningless. A negative dream is adif mechal v'tava, is greater, is more beneficial spiritually to the person than a positive dream, because it brings a person to tshuva. He's troubled, he suffers on account of his troubling experience that he experienced in his dream, and this brings him to introspect, to make a cheshbon nefesh and to tshuva. A negative dream, a troubling dream, it's atzivusei mistaye. The sadness that he experiences as a result suffices. That is the realization of the negative omen that he experienced in his dream. It was realized through his sadness, and he need not suffer anymore. The same thing regarding a good dream. The happiness and joy that one experiences as a result of seeing a positive dream, mistaye, that suffices. He already realizes the message sent in his dream by having the joy as a result of the dream, and he will not get any more goodness as a result of the dream. So he was yaitze through his gladness. Amar Yosef Chalmatava, when I have a good dream, afilu lidi, even by me who I'm blind and he experienced very little happiness. B'dichusim fakhle, the happiness, the b'dichusa, the joy, it covers the dream and it suffices. And the goodness that was foretold in the dream is fulfilled by merely having the happiness as a result. A bad dream is kasha, is detrimental to one's body more than lashing. Hashem did, so that they fear of him. What does this mean? Hashem will send a troubling dream to one, so that he suffers mental anguish as a result. And this is better to the person, this is more harmful to the person than even a lash. But the person derives benefit because it brings him to tshuva. It brings him to mend his ways, to correct his life, and at the end of the day, it's good for him. And so now you see from the Gemara that mental anguish is actually more severe than physical anguish. Continues the Gemara, okay, Hanavi Asher Itoi, the pasuk says, Hanavi Asher Itoi Chaloim Yisaper Chaloim. A prophet who has with him dreams, he will say over dreams. Vasher Dvari Itoi. But one who has my word with him, Yidaber Dvari Emes, he will speak words of truth, my words of truth. Mala Teven Asabarnum Hashem. What is Teven, hay, a straw, what is it doing together with the bar, with the grain? Says the Gemara, what is the point here of the pasuk? Comparing the teven, the shaft, the stalks, the psoilus, whatever it is, the teven with the grain, comparing it to a dream. What is the point of comparing the grain with the hay, comparing it to a dream? Says the Gemara, it's coming to make a comparison analogy. Just like grain you cannot have a grain without the teven. The same way, a dream cannot occur without it containing some element of dvar metelim, meaningless words. Although part of it is realized, comes to be, kuloi, however, the entire dream it doesn't get realized. Because as we said, a chaloim contains dvar metelim. Minalon, where do we see this? Mi Yosef. Yosef had a dream, I saw the sun, the moon, and all the stars bowing to me. Vahi shaita. However, in that time that Yosef related the dream, he dreamt the dream of his father and his mother, which was symbolized with the moon. His mother had already passed away. Rachel was no more. So certainly that was the dvar metelim in the dream. One should look forward to the realization, the fulfillment of a positive dream. How long? Up until 22 years. We see Yosef's dream, it took a while till it was realized. But at the end of the day, after 22 long years, it was realized. The dream that he saw, that all were bowing towards him. It took 22 years. Ela told us Yaakov, Yosef ben Shvayis Shana, he was 17 years old when he had the dream. Yosef ben Shleshim Shana, he was 30 years old when he stood before Paro. How many years is that? Says the Gemara, Min Shivasri, from 17. Min Shivasri at Tlasan Kamahavi. What is the amount from 17 to 30? Tlasri, we have 13. Vishev, the Shiva, add another 7 of the Saba of the plenty years, the years of plenty. So add that to the 13, plus another 2, Vitarti the Chafna, another 2 of the famine. So we have in total Hachav Beis, 22 years. It took until finally all arrived and bowed to him. Amar Rav Huna, L'adam toiv, to a good person, to a righteous person, Maran loy chaloim ra. Rashi has the girsa L'adam toiv maran loy chaloim ra. They show him a negative, a troubling dream. L'adam ra, to a wicked person, maran loy chaloim toiv. They show him a good experience. Why, says Rashi? Why does a tzaddik suffer? They show him bad dreams. Says Rashi, Kedei sheyidag, so that he be concerned, and lo yechta, and he doesn't come to sin. He will be more careful with his deeds, and also the troubling experience, the mental anguish that he suffers is mechaper, atones for his averos. On the other hand, a wicked person, we want to give him a good experience in this world, Kedei lesamchoy, so that he is oichel oilamai, he eats up his world, meaning he consumes his reward in this world. Says Tani Nami Hachi, Kol Shnoisav Shel David Lo Yirah Chalaim Toiv. David HaMelech was a tzaddik. All his years, he never saw a good dream, a dream that brought him joy and happiness. V'Kol Shnoisav Shel Achitophel, who was a Rasha Lo Yirah Chalaim Ra, he never saw a bad dream. Says the Gemara, is that so? That a tzaddik like David HaMelech saw a bad dream, V'Aksiv Lo Yisuna Lechara, bad, you will not encounter bad. What is referring to? That they should not scare you and trouble you. Bad dreams, or negative thoughts. So we see here that a tzaddik is blessed on account that he does not experience negative dreams. How could you say David HaMelech was shown negative dreams? Says the Gemara, another thing, how do we interpret the rest of the pasuk? A nega will not approach your tent, meaning your home. It's referring to the following things. You are blessed that shloi timtza ishtecha safek nida. You will not encounter your wife in a state of a safek nida, a doubtful nida. When you return from the road, when a person is looking forward to reunite with his wife, and when he encounters his wife in a state of a safek nida, so if she's a vada nida, so he resigns to the fact. But if it's doubtful, then he's tempted by the annoying thought that perhaps he's withholding in vain. So the bracha here is that a person should not encounter this experience. So in any case, how can we say David HaMelech had bad dreams? A tzaddik is not meant to have these experiences. Ella, says the Gemara, he indeed did not experience these negative dreams. What then did we mean before that? We said that to a good person, they show a bad dream. Others have negative visions about him, but he himself doesn't. So, in summary, David HaMelech didn't himself experience bad dreams, nor did he have good dreams. Says the Gemara, is it good? Is it a positive sign when one doesn't experience any dreams whatsoever? Didn't Rav Zira teach us? One who sleeps 7 days without experiencing any dreams, Nikra Ra is called wicked. He hasn't had any communication from above. They're ignoring him. Shenemar v'savei yolam v'yipoked al tikru saveya. Don't read saveya, which means satiated. Ela sheva. 7. If one who sleeps 7 days without a dream, he's a Ra. Says it must be that regarding David HaMelech, he indeed saw dreams. The Chaza, he saw dreams, he saw good dreams, but he couldn't recall the good dream. It flew out of his conscience. It left his mind. By the time he woke up, he couldn't recall the dream. So he didn't experience the satisfaction of having dreamt a good dream. And from Shemayim, they don't want him to have that satisfaction. They want him not to have schar in this world. On the contrary, they want him to be in a state of daga, so that he's careful with his deeds and he has kapara from his averis. So in summary, David HaMelech himself didn't experience bad dreams or did not experience the satisfaction from having dreamt a good dream. But however, the Gemara says that other people did dream negative dreams about him. One who sees a negative dream, and his nefesh, his spirit is saddened, is worried. He should go interpret the dream in front of 3 people. Yiv Terenu? He should go interpret it. Why doesn't he just leave it lame, dormant? Why should he go interpret and activate it? A dream which wasn't interpreted is is dormant. It's like a letter that wasn't read. So why go activate it? Why open the possibility of the bad dream coming true? Ella Ema, you must say as follows: he should remedy. He should repair the dream. He should transform it into good in front of 3 people. Says Umar Lacy Tlas, he should take 3 people, and some of the Girsa, the Rachmele, his 3 friends. Take 3 of his friends, and he should say before them the following. V'leimalu, he should say as follows: Chalma Tava Chasoy, I saw a good dream. And they respond to him, V'leimalu Hanoch, they will respond to him in kind. Tavahu, it's a good dream. V'tava Lehavi, it should be a good dream. Rachmana, Hashem L'shavia L'tav, Hashem should transform it, should make it into good. Sheva Zimnin, 7 times Ligzru Lech Shamaya, they should decree on you from Shamayim to L'havi Tava, the dream should turn out to be good. V'yahavi Tava, and it should be good. And they should continue and say the following. V'leimru, they should say Gimel Afuchos, 3 verses which contain transformation. The Gimel Peduya is 3 psukim that contain redemption. Shalish Shloima is 3 psukim that contain peace. Explains the Gemara, Shalish Afucha is 3 transformations. Hafachta mizbedi l'machli, you've turned over, transformed my sadness, my mispaid. L'machli, to a circle, to dancing. B'tachta saga, b'tachta simcha. You filled me with joy. You've transformed the sadness into joy. This is the second pasuk. I will overturn, I will transform their mourning to happiness, to joy. The third pasuk is Hashem did not agree to listen to the curse of Bilam. Hashem overturned the klala to a bracha. Hashem put words of bracha into the words of Bilam instead of the klala. Continues the Gemara, what are the shalish peduyos, the psukim of redemption? Pada b'shalim nafshim ukravli uksiv peduyi Hashem yishuvan v'ayoyma amala shal hayoynes an yamas asher asa Yeshua. And the pasuk ends v'yiftu amas yoynes v'leimeis, they redeemed Yoynes and he didn't die. Shalish shleimos, what are the 3 psukim of peace? Ksiv boyer nifsosayim, Hashem creates the utterance of the lips. Shalim shalim l'rachel akarav amar Hashem urafasav, and I've cured him. The next pasuk is a V'ruach Lavsha Samasai, a spirit descended on a Masai V'amartim Koilachai, they should bring a success for your life. V'ata Shalom Bescha Shalom, you should have peace and your home should have peace. So this is the process of Hatavas Chaloim. Person has a troubling dream, he approaches 3 of his friends, presents them with his predicament, and they respond and they cure his dream. Says the Gemara, Meimar Mazutra V'Ravashi, these 3 have a yasvi adadad, they were sitting amongst each other. Amri, so they said, Kol chad v'chad minan, every one of us, Lema milsa, he should say something, Deloy shmei lechaveri, something a chiddush, a novelty that the others haven't yet heard. Pasa chad b'nai b'amar, one began and said as follows: Hayman the chaza chelma, one who has experienced a dream, v'lo yoda my chaza, and he doesn't know, he doesn't really remember what exactly it was, if it was good, if it was bad. Leikum kamikani. What should he do? He should stand in front of the kehanim beidna the pasidai, when they spread their hands for brichas koyanim. V'leima achi, and say the following: Ribono shel olam, ani shalach b'chalal moiseh shalach. I and my dream are yours. Ani shalach, I belong to you. V'chalal moiseh shalach, my dreams belong to you. They come from you. You have given them to me. They're yours. I don't know the meaning of the dream that I've dreamt. Whether it was a dream that I dreamt about myself, or whether others dreamt about me, whether I dreamt on others. If they're positive, strengthen them, bring them about, make them be realized, just as the Chalaimos of Yosef are realized for good. But if they need remedy, if they need to be cured, they need to be transformed. Cure them like the bitter of water of Mara, which was cured by Moshe Rabbeinu and was sweetened. Uke Miriam Mitzarata, Miriam from her tzaras. Uke Chizkiyo Mecholia from his sickness. Uke Me Yerichai, Al Yidei Elisha, the undrinkable waters in Yerichai, which was sweetened by Elisha. Uke Shem, just like Shafachta, Kilalas Bilam Harasha Livracha, that you've transformed the curse of Bilam to bracha, kain cha havoich kochal moisa laila tova. In the same manner, you should transform all my dreams latova to only good. Umesayim, and he times himself that he concludes this tefillah bahadi kahani together with the kahanim completing their bracha, the ani tzibur amen, so that the congregation, the tzibur, will answer amen on both, on the bracha of the kahanim and on his tefillah. Continues the Gemara, and the Vilna Gaon reads as follows: V'chimahadri kahani apayu, when the kahanim turn back from the tzibur, le'mahachi, he concludes as follows: Adim amarim, the mighty one up in heaven, sheichem egvura, rests on strength. Ata shalom v'shimcha shalom, yiratzim l'fanecha, shetasam aleinu shalom, you should bring peace on us. Pasach irdach v'adamar. So the other one of the group of three opened with the following lesson, and he said, Haiman da ayla masa, one who enters the city of V'dochel mein abisha, is concerned about ayin hara affecting him. What should he do? Linkoit zikfa the other dimina. He should take the zikfa, the thumb of his right hand, and place it beyond the smali into his left hand. V'zakfa the other, the smali, the thumb of his left hand, place it beyond the dimina in his right hand. V'lei me'achi, he should say as follows: Ano, Pliny, me, Pliny, the son of Pliny, Mizara the Yosef Katzina. I'm a descendant of Yosef. The Shalta be'ein abisha, that an evil eye did not have any effect on him. Shenemar ben Puris Yosef ben Puris Ali Ayin. Yosef was Ali Ayin, which was exposed to the eyes. And the Gemara says Al Tukri Ali Ayin, which was seen by the eye. Ela Oyle Ayin, above the eye. Yosef is above the realm of the eye. Ayin hara can't affect him. This is the source. The children of Yosef are compared to fish who multiply b'kerev eretz in the earth, just as the fish in the seas, the water covers them, and therefore they are hidden from ayin hara. Ve'in ayin hara, and subsequently the ayin hara can't control them, can't affect them. Avzar shal Yosef, ein ayin hara ayin hara can't affect him. V'idachel, if he's concerned, me'ein abisha, the day he's afraid that he will have ayin hara on others, what should he do? Lechzi atarfa the nechira the small. He should take a look. He should look at the surface at atarfa the nechira the small, and on his left nostril, the surface of his left nostril. So now the third member of the group said as follows: Haiman the cholish, one who became weakened and became sick. Yoima kama loy ligli. The first day, don't reveal it to anybody. Ki heiche de lisser mazli, so that his mazli, his luck, shouldn't get weakened. Don't publicize it and express your weakened condition with words. By expressing with words, the words perhaps will empower the Yetzer Hara, the Satan, to harm you. There's a power within the words. Keep it quiet. So that's only the first day. But once the first day passed, it's already past the first day. So the first day we went to see that it doesn't exasperate the situation, but once it's already an established sickness, now, quite the contrary, he should reveal it legally. He should go reveal it to all. When Rava used to get sick, the first day, he wouldn't reveal it. But afterwards, he told his servant, go announce it. Say, Rava got sick. Why? Man de rachmli, one who likes me, liboy lerachmi, should request Rahman Shadam from me, so that I'm cured. Uman the suddenly, on the other hand, one who hates me, lichtali, he should be joyous and happy about my unfortunate condition, and by doing so will actually benefit me. When the enemy falls, don't be happy. When he stumbles, al yagi libecha. Why? Pen yira Hashem. Perhaps Hashem will see v'ra be'enav. He will see this conduct. You're being happy on account of your enemy's downfall. Hashem will remove the anger from the other person and place it on you. Therefore, we're not meant to be happy on our enemy's downfall. So here, Says Rava, go announce it. Perhaps my enemy will be happy, and that will relieve me of my condition. Says when Shmuel experienced a bad dream, he used to say, Omar, dreams speak falsehood. If he experienced a positive dream, Omar, he said it a little differently. In a question mark. Is that so that dreams are false? Hashem uses dreams as a medium to speak to the Navi. Rabbi had a contradiction between these two psukim. Hashem uses the dream as a medium for nevuah, for prophecy. And then it says, dreams contain falsehood. They speak false. Like Kasha, it's not difficult. It depends what type of dream. Kan alidei malach. The dream is communicated by a malach. That is a high level dream. That is a positive experience. That is the type of dream in which Hashem communicates with us. Kan, but the other pasuk, that a dream is merely shav, is a shade which originates from a demon. Omar Abizmar Zavda Akiva. Omar Panna, Omar Avnacham, Omar Birim, Mishum Zakan Echat. In the name of an elder, Umanai, who was a Rabbana, he related the following thing. There were 24 dream interpreters in Yerushalayim. Pamachas, chalamti chalaim. One time I dreamt a dream. Valachti etel kulam, and I went down the list to all of them. Everybody had a different interpretation. Ve'kulam niskaimu bi. All of them were realized. Lekayim b'shenemar. This is mekayim. This confirms what it says. Kol hachaloimos, all dreams holchem achar peh, follow the words of the mouth. Therefore, all the interpretations were realized. Says the Gemara, Atu kol hachaloimos holchem achar peh krohu. It's not like you're quoting a pasuk. Is this a verse that you're quoting? Kol hachaloimos holchem achar peh. Says the Gemara in, yes, or Rav Elazar, Dom Rav Elazar, minayin. How do we know? What is the source from the Torah to this concept? Shekol hachaloimos holchem achar peh, that dreams follow the mouth. They follow, they're determined by one's interpretation, one's expression of words. Shenemar vayikasha pasalonu kein hoya. This is regarding the sar mashkim, sar oifim. So they said, so the sar told Parai regarding Yosef that he interpreted our dreams, and indeed, kasher pasalonu kein hoya. On account of his interpretation, the dreams were indeed realized. So you see that the pisarin, the interpretation, activates the dream. Amar Rava v'hu, that's provided only the mafshalem ein chalme, that the interpretation is, it approximates the vision. It's connected, it relates to the vision. Shenamar ish kachaloimai pasar, he interpreted them, the interpretation which was similar to the vision that they saw. There was some similarities between the two. Continues the Gemara, vayar sara oifim. So the sara oifim, the baker, saw that Yosef indeed interpreted the dream of his colleague, the Sarah Mashkim. He interpreted properly. How did he know that it was a proper interpretation? That both the minister of the Mashkim and the Sarah, they both saw the dream, and they also, in their dream, there was contained a vision that interpreted their colleague's dream. So the Sarah Ha'ifim knew the interpretation of the Sarah Mashkim's dream, and therefore when he saw that Yosef interpreted properly the dream of the Sarah Mashkim, he was happy. He was confident in Yosef's ability. Vayar Sara'ifim ki toiv pasar, that he interpreted properly. Amar Yochanan Hishkim, if one wakes in the morning, v'nafal a pasuk, a verse falls into his mouth, a pasuk enters his mind. Harezin uvoktan. This is a minor prophecy. This is an indication, an allusion to a future tiding. There are 3 dreams that come true. Chalem shel shachris, the dream that one dreams before he wakes in the morning. A dream that one dreams on account of his friend. A dream that was interpreted within his dream. Meaning if he saw the interpretation of the dream within the dream. Some say a dream that was repeated twice. Yosef says since the dream of Paro was repeated twice, it appears that it will come true. Explains the Maharsha why a dream in the morning is more accurate, because generally a dream comes as a result, as a product of the the thoughts and experiences that one has during the day, and that material gets exhausted throughout the night. When it comes already close to morning, the material of the daytime experience has already exhausted itself, and now the dream is genuine. Also, the dream that one dreams for his friend. Generally, we don't think about our friends, so that indicates that it is something of truth. Continues the Gemara. They only show one in his dream a product of the thoughts in his heart that he experienced through the day. Shenamar, as Daniel told him regarding his dream, Ant Malka Rayonach al Meshkavach Sliko, your thoughts are entering your mind when you sleep. You know the thoughts of your heart. The dreams originate from your feelings, from your thoughts. Amar Rava, Teda, I'll prove it to you. They never show one in his dream a vision of Dikla Da'ahava, a golden palm tree, or a elephant that goes through the hole in a needle. Because these visions are beyond the reality. A person never thinks about these. And therefore, during his dreams, he will never experience these visions. So in summary, regarding chaloimos, the Gemara teaches us, Kol chaloim v'lo tavas, have any dream except for the one during a tanis, a fast day, because a person might experience a troubling dream as a result of his affliction. Kol chaloimos holchen achar peh, dreams follow the words of the mouth, the way they're interpreted. Any dream is not fully fulfilled because it contains some meaningless elements. The Gemara teaches us a person should look forward to the fulfillment of his good dream up until 22 years. A Adam Toiv, a righteous person, is not shown a Chaloim Toiv. A Adam Ra is shown. 7 days without a dream is not such a good indication. We have the opportunity to make Hatavas Chaloim, to remedy our dream in front of 3. We have the Tefillah during Birchas Keihanim. And the Gemara teaches us that some dreams come al-yidei malach, through a malach, and it's a communication from Hashem. Some of them are al-yidei shade, through a demon. Rabbi Yochanan teaches us some chaloims come true, the chaloim shachris, close to morning, a chaloim which was dreamt by a friend, a chaloim that was interpreted within a dream, some say a chaloim that repeated itself, and finally the Gemara teaches us that they only show to a person me'er hurei liboy, even a dream that contains elements of truth. Nevertheless, they are generally composed of scenes that relate to what a person experienced or thought of throughout the day. Rava proves it to us. I'll prove it to you because they'll never show you a golden palm tree or an elephant going through a pinhole, because that's not something you think about. Therefore, you won't dream about it either.